Hey, what's up? This is Sully from Godsmack. Strap on those boots, baby, because you are now in the trenches of the war room with the one and only Mistress Carrie right here on the Mistress Carrie podcast.
What's up? This is Joe Rogan, and you're listening to Mistress Carrie.
Her hair so lovely, pretty eyes.
Hey, this is Brent from Shinedown, and you're listening to Mistress Carrie. Hey, Carrie, go put your bra on, girl.
Hey, this is Steven Tyler, and you be listening to the baddest bitch in Boston, Mistress Carrie.
What's up? This is Aaron from Stain, and you're listening to Mistress Carrie.
Hi, everybody. This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters, and you're listening to the one, the only Mistress Carrie.
Hey, this is David from the band Disturbed, and you're listening to the baddest bitch in Boston, Mistress Carrie.
Hi, Bruce Dickinson here from Iron Maiden. Yes, indeed, Miss Whiplash herself, Mistress Carrie, is here to unchain your brain.
Hi, this is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You're listening to Mistress Carrie.
This is Dennis Leary. You are listening to my favorite, Mistress Carrie.
Hey, this is Corey from Stone Sour, and you have the privilege of listening to Mistress Carrie.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's Mistress Carrie, reporting for duty from MCHQ for episode 269 of the Mistress Carrie podcast. And while I may be away in Rome on vacation, the Mistress Carrie podcast continues. New episodes every Wednesday. My guest this week is Richard Patrick from Filter, who first appeared on the show on episode 169 a couple of years ago when the album The Algorithm came out. Well, now 2 years later, the band has got a different record label, and they are re-releasing the album, but in Ultra Edition, coming up next Friday, August 8th. So Richard Patrick's on the show to talk about the passing of the Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy Osbourne, and the impact of Black Sabbath. He also talks about covering U2 and Billie Eilish on the upcoming new release, plus dropping off the Jerry Cantrell tour due to back surgery and so much more. I always love having Richard Patrick back on the show, so allow me to reintroduce you to Richard Patrick from Filter. Mr. Richard Patrick, thank you for coming back on the show.
You got it. How are you doing, Mistress Carrie? Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
I am so sorry. You and I were scheduled to talk, and we were literally getting ready to start the interview, and news broke that Ozzy passed. And things just, as you can imagine, on rock radio stations across the world, things just went nuts. So I appreciate you rescheduling, because that was a bad day for all of us.
Yeah, Ozzy was a tremendous force, and he changed the face of music, and we are forever grateful for those of us who like heavy music and whatever it is, heavy alternative to anything with a really distorted guitar. Black Sabbath pretty much, and played in drop D, they pretty much started the whole thing. So yeah, we're forever grateful of Ozzy and Black Sabbath and all those guys for sure.
Tony Iommi came out and said that he believes that Ozzy held on to be able to do that final show and to be able to thank the fans one last time, which literally makes me tear up at the thought of it.
Yeah. It's what a great show though. What a great way to go out too. It almost reminds me of how David Bowie went out. Like he released that record Black Star the day he passed away, and it was just, Ozzy will for always be remembered, even to the very last moment of his life. So he was extraordinary.
I remember when I was a kid, I was shopping in a department store with my mom, and they came over the loudspeakers in the store to announce that John Lennon had passed away. And I didn't understand why my mom and her friend were crying about someone dying that they didn't know. And it's so crazy, because that happened the day Ozzy died for me. And I'm a stepmom with teenage stepkids, and they asked me, it was so weird that now they were in this position wondering why I was so sad losing a person that, I mean, I had interviewed several times and met several times, but wouldn't call Ozzy a friend. But I was so sad. And it was so crazy that I had the same exact experience as a stepmom as I had as a kid with my own mom.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, both deaths are, especially John Lennon, it was tragic. And I remember when Elvis died. I remember, when John died, I remember, it's tragic. And Ozzy is, I'll never forget the first day I met Ozzy. I was on stage, we were touring together, and I hadn't met him yet, but I was on stage sound checking my guitar, and I played the riff to Hey Man, Nice Shot. And all of a sudden, Ozzy's on stage and he goes, "Yo, I just want to tell you, man, I really love that guitar riff, man. I really love that riff, man. Good stuff, good stuff." And I just was like, "Wow, thank you, Mr. Osborne." I call you Mr. Osborne. And he was like, "No, no, it's Ozzy, it's all good, man. You sound great. Welcome to the tour. I hope we have fun." I'm like, "Oh my God, wow." Such a nice guy.
If anybody can recognize a badass guitar riff, it's Ozzy.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really gratifying. I was like, I've kind of made it. I've kind of, Hey Man, Nice Shot became a big hit, and I was like, wow, we were onto something. Thank you, Ozzy. I mean, it was awesome.
As a songwriter, because I look at that craft as such a skill that I'm envious of. There's been a lot of talk over the last week about Ozzy's skill as a songwriter, which, he gets credit for a lot of things, right? The inventing heavy metal, the Ozfest, reality television. But people now are really starting to talk about his vocal performances and his skills as a songwriter, which I feel like people didn't focus on that stuff before. They focused on the Ozzy persona more than the technical abilities that he always had.
Oh yeah, no, he was great. I mean, War Pigs was an amazing anti-war song, and he put a lot of political thinking behind it, and was talking about very deep, intellectually deep things in his music. And no, he was a fantastic songwriter, great melodies, great lyrics. He's the real deal. He was the real deal.
The last time you were on the show, you were getting ready to release The Algorithm. I looked it up. And now here you are 2 years later getting ready to release this whole ultra edition with all this extra stuff on it. So tell me about the decision to re-release it and how you decided what extra stuff was going on it, because there's a lot of cool stuff, including cover songs.
Yeah, well, we don't feel that The Algorithm got a fair shot with the previous record company that we were using and we were working with, and so we decided let's just I have my own label. Let's just re-release it and see what happens, and have a new song, All the Good. And I want to thank you for playing it. It means a lot to me. And
I love you, Mr. Patrick.
Yeah, it means a lot. And then we have a variety, and then we have the record remastered in analog, so it's a little bit deeper, more rich in the low end. And then we have two covers. We have Billie Eilish's Bad Guy, which I thought was an interesting take on that. I completely reimagined it. And then I did a tribute to U2, one of my favorite bands. I did a sort of Homecoming, which is off their record, The Unforgettable Fire. It's the first song on their record, The Unforgettable Fire. And I played every single instrument on it, mixed it, and produced totally by myself. And the only thing that was done without me was the mastering. So it was a lot of fun. And then we have remixes of Obliteration and Burn Out the Sun. Obliteration's remixed by Charlie Clouser from Nine Inch Nails fame and the Sauce score soundtracks, and Sean Bevan, who was also a part of Nine Inch Nails. And Julian Gray did a fantastic remix of Burn Out the Sun. And then I did a remix of Obliteration, which I think is pretty cool. So there's a lot of new stuff, and it's got new artwork, and we're really psyched, and I can't wait to release it. I believe it comes out August 8th.
Have you ever done a remix of a song and been like, I kind of like this better than the original? Or is the original always you have?
No. Yeah, Happy Together. I covered Happy Together and made it super creepy. and so I love doing very different versions of songs that are like familiar. And but the U2 cover was a straight up like tribute. It was like, how can I make it sound even better than theirs, and but encapsulate everything they're about as a band. So that's the one. It's literally it's pretty on the nose as like a tribute to them.
As an 80s metal kid, I came to U2 late.
Mm-hmm.
They were not a band that I liked like when they first came out. They were a band as I got older that I learned to appreciate. And a band like Filter that's known for being so heavy, U2 wouldn't be directly correlated in some people's mind to U2, but they're a band that's so hugely influential on so many different genres of music.
I was introduced to punk rock at a very early age. My brother, who is the actor Robert Patrick, he played the Terminator in Terminator 2. He was the actor that was the liquid metal Terminator back in Terminator 2. And growing up with him, he had a huge influence on my life. And right around 1982, 80, somewhere around there, he knocked the heavy metal record that I was listening to out of my hands, and he gave me The Clash. And he goes, from now on, you're listening to punk. And so I was punk. And I was probably like, 12 or 13 or 14 years old. And so I got into alternative music at a very young age. And U2 kind of, it was the guitar playing that really got me hooked. It was the simplicity of the Edge's guitar playing, but like the originality of his guitar playing. And so I just loved it. And then of course I love heavy music because I was kind of reintroduced into heavy music through Al Jorgensen's The Land of Rape and Honey. And then I got into Skinny Puppy. And then of course when I joined Nine Inch Nails, we were off to the races making industrial music. So I've always been into heavy, dark music. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm like metal, but like at the same time, I appreciate a deep, rich guitar tone that's dark so I come and go. Like I have two different sides to the band. Like people were shocked when I released Take a Picture as a song. And I was like, but I'm alternative. I can kind of do what I want. And then, Hey Man, Nice Shot was so industrial and kind of dark and heavy and dark subject matter. But I've always loved exploring different types of music, emotionally different types of music. Like Take a Picture's a bright sounding, gorgeous kind of song about a really dark subject matter. And so that's why I kind of thought like it evened itself out because it was such a dark song lyrically.
Very
And
Beatles-esque that way.
yeah, and Beatles were a huge influence on me. So I I'm not Filter isn't necessarily like a lifestyle band, but like at the same time, um, we lean heavy and industrial, if that's or dark, kind of grunge. But yeah, we definitely, I think, have our own unique sound, and I'm proud of it, and I'm glad that we kind of, you listen to a Filter record and it takes you on a journey. It's not just 10 songs that sound alike. It's every song has a different tempo. Every song it might be a little bit more optimistic than the others, or you know what I mean. So I try and just keep it as fresh as possible, and that's why I wanted to re-release the Algorithm, because I think that record really sounds like, reminds me of like Title Record and the Amalgamut when I was on Warner Brothers Reprise. And yeah, so I'm very proud of this new release.
I feel like back in the 80s, the genre, the label of the music, it was very siloed. And I feel like those things are kind of going away. And you look at an artist like Billie Eilish, and people really don't know what to call her. Is she a pop artist? Is she an alternative artist? Like, there's no real way to kind of put a label. And I feel like music is getting less and less label focused and just more and more focused on it being good, which is great.
There's definitely like a heavy metal kind of lifestyle thing going on in the 80s that was even different. There were subgenres where it was like hair metal it wasn't coined at the time, but it became known as hair metal. But like then you had bands like Pantera and Metallica and Slayer that were super heavy. And so, but now you have bands that are just like wild, like some really great stuff out there. And it is very undefined, and it's very kind of chaotic and crazy, and that's kind of a good thing, because I think people are it was the U2 fans and heavy metal kids didn't really necessarily hang out, but I think in this world they could. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? At least that's what I hope. Like people are shocked when I say like one of my favorite bands is U2, and they're just like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's definitely an influence on me for sure." And but I had to find my own way when you know what I mean? Like when I was young, I even sounded like U2, like when I was in my teens, and but I had to find my own way in my own world, post Nine Inch Nails, and Filter's the sound that I created. You know what I mean? It's my own original kind of platform.
I feel like festivals help that in a lot of ways, because you got to go to a festival and see all different kinds of music in the same place with a huge crowd of people that were really different. But in that context, it kind of made sense.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think there's great festivals out there. A lot of the Danny Wimmer stuff is fantastic, and you can see so many amazing bands, whether it's incarcerated or Shockwave or all the other, Sonic Temple, all the other. Those are fantastic festivals to go to, and so I like festivals. I think they're good. I think people get their money. They definitely get their money's worth, and it's a big fun thing, and takes all day, and you can see so many bands, at the same time. It's awesome.
The bands seem to like it too, because if you're a performer, you get to spend your time on stage, but then you get to go and watch a bunch of bands that you may not be able to go and see. Do you have a favorite festival memory that was not because you were on the stage, but because you were watching another band?
The last, I think we just played Sonic Temple with Korn, and Ray Luzier came out to watch Filter, and he was on the side of the stage having a blast. And then I went and stood on the side of the stage with, Korn, and Ray was so funny. He was looking at us during in between the songs, and he knew he had like his people where they were. So he was throwing drumsticks at us and giving us souvenirs. And he is an amazing, wonderful man, and we had a lot of fun. So there's all, but the festivals are fun for the bands because we get to hang out with our brethren. Like it's always great to see Sam and Pete from Chevelle. Or I played a show with Manson, and Manson and I hung out backstage, and Chad from Mudvayne, and it's just fun to hang out and hobnob with your friends that are in bands that you respect and appreciate, and, so yeah.
There's definitely a second show going on in the wings, like you're talking about with Ray throwing drumsticks at you and stuff. I interviewed McGee, who was Aerosmith's longtime drum tech, and he was given a microphone so he could talk into Steven Tyler's ears during the show, and told me on the show that he used to tell dirty jokes and try to crack Steven Tyler up during Joe Perry's guitar solos. And I'm like, that we need to hear as fans. I would love to hear Steven Tyler's internal monologue of dirty jokes while he's on stage in front of like 45,000 people.
Yeah, we actually we had some talkback mics and we were cracking each other up to the point where it was like we were like messing up the songs because we were laughing so hard. So we like had to stop doing it. We were like, okay, we can't do this anymore. We can't just goof off on stage. Like it's like these songs are serious, dude. Like
stop goofing really off, knock it off. How does it feel to celebrate a big anniversary like you celebrated for Short Bus? Like to hit a milestone like 30 years on a record? Because there have been so many huge anniversaries happening with amazing bands and albums over the last couple of years. Are you having a hard time wrapping your brain around the fact that it was 30 years? Because I am.
Yeah. Yeah, it's my gray hair is real. Like I did not dye my hair gray. It is. I'm an older gentleman. It's like it is wildly here. It's it's wild to be out and still playing music. And it's when I was talking with Jonathan Davis from Korn, like one of the things he said to me was, Rich, we're still here doing this. We're still having fun doing this. And it's like, he's like, remember that. Like, and it's true. We get to hang out and see each other and play concerts and sing songs. And I'm just eternally grateful that we're allowed to hang out and play, and people want to come and see us. And it's been an amazing life of music and fun, and and I want to thank the fans from the bottom, because they're the ones that made it possible.
Well, rock fans, once they love you forever. You just look at the longevity of career of rock bands. AC/DC's still out there, The Who's still out there. Just these bands that have been around, the Stones still out there, because people love the music and will always love you because of it.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And it's like Bono said, he's like, thank you for making our lives so amazing. He thanks the audience every night. Thank you for making our lives so amazing. And it's true. I've seen the world like so many times now. And I've been around the world, and I went to Moscow and we played a song there, and the fans were singing back the lyrics phonetically. And there was no hate or anything. It was love. We were playing music, bringing the world together with music, bringing people together with music. So it's an astonishing day every day that I get to be a musician, and I'm very grateful, and it's a lot of fun, and the fans are the ones that made it happen. So we appreciate it.
Were you one of the fans that went to Vegas to see the Sphere show for you too? Because so many rock stars went to Vegas as fans because they wanted to see it.
Yeah, I saw it. A friend of mine, Irving Azoff, got me tickets, and we had fantastic tickets. We were in section, I believe it was 106, where 106, and it was the second row of the first balcony. So you could see the entire screen, and you could see the band, and they were literally like, 50 yards away, or probably like 30 yards away. And the show was just absolutely fantastic. And it was a lot of fun. And I totally recommend seeing anybody at the Sphere and all the other attractions they have there. It's quite an experience. I mean, it is really wild.
Well, you're a technical guy. Like, you're a guy that has always kind of welcomed new technology in your art. And so something like the Sphere taking concerts to a whole other place, it doesn't surprise me at all that you loved it as much as you did.
Yeah, I'm into high tech stuff, and this was about as high tech as you can get. The sound was amazing. The visuals were insane. But, U2, I mean, I've never seen a bad U2 show, and they were amazing. And so I think they were the perfect opening band to kick off the Sphere's career, or the whole thing. I can't say enough about it. It was so cool.
Before I let you go, I got to talk obviously about the tour dates with Jerry Cantrell, because there's been rumors that you're not going to be on the shows and that you are going to be on the shows. What's going on?
Okay, so I've had to cancel my appearances with Jerry Cantrell because I'm getting over a surgery, and it's taking me a little bit longer than I thought to mend from it. And they operated on my spine. They gave me a new disc, and I just want to be 100% when I'm in front of an audience. I want to make sure that everything is great. And I just don't feel 100% yet. So I'm having to cancel my shows with Jerry Cantrell this year, or this fall.
As someone that's had back surgery myself,
Mm-hmm.
there isn't a part of your body that isn't affected by having back surgery. It's just miserable to recover from.
Yeah, it's huge, and I'm feeling better, but I'm not 100%, and I just want to make sure that I'm very comfortable and can perform, to my highest abilities. And I just, unfortunately, I cut it too close with the surgery, and so I've got to chill.
So what are the plans for you moving forward supporting this release? Are you taking the rest of the year off? Or are you going to go out on the road in 2026? What are you thinking?
I think we're going to go out on the road in 2026. Plus, we have another record that we're working on right now called The Antidote. And so I'm doing a lot of studio work. And The Antidote is even better than The Algorithm. I mean, it is fantastic. And so I'm really, really psyched about it. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm finishing up The Antidote, and that'll be coming out probably in 2026 for sure.
So will you promise me right now that when you're getting ready to release that album, you'll come back on the show and talk about it?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. So we're not going to wait as long next time.
No, we're not going to wait that long.
Well, as somebody that's recovered from surgery like that, I totally know what you're going through, and it totally sucks. So I'm sending you all the love in the world that you are back to fighting form and that you're going to be back out on the road next year because filter shows are fun, man.
Filter shows are great. We love it, and we have a lot of fun, and we bring it every night when we play. So yeah, I just want to be better. I just want to mend and make sure that I properly heal, because there's that too. You have to do rehab. You know what I mean? You have to do your physical therapy and everything like that. So I'm just taking it one step at a time and one day at a time, and hopefully I'll be back there soon, very soon.
When your physical therapist is on your Christmas card list, you know you're doing the work.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming back on the show. Feel better. And congratulations on the new release. And thank you for rescheduling so that we could handle all of the things with the news of Ozzy's passing. So I appreciate your flexibility.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
There he is, Richard Patrick from Filter. The upcoming new release, the Algorithm Ultra Edition, comes out next Friday, August 8th. Containing remixes, cover songs, and so much more. It'll be available everywhere. And Filter will be back on the road and hopefully releasing a brand new studio album, The Antidote, in 2026. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to like, follow, comment, share, and subscribe to the Mistress Carrie podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday. Plus, every weekday, you get the Sit Rep. The Situation Report gives you all of your rock news, music headlines, and entertainment updates in about 5 minutes. And it starts back up again when I get back from Rome. Join me live every Tuesday night at 8:30 Eastern for my weekly streaming video show, Cocktails in the War Room, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. And you can always hear me on the radio. Mornings on Laser 99.3 and 98.5 in Springfield, Massachusetts. Middays on 98 Rock in Charleston, South Carolina. And afternoons on 100 FM The Pike in Worcester, Massachusetts, and 106.3 The Bone in Portland, Maine. Get the details on all that and more at MistressCarrie.com. The Mistress Carrie Podcast, a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network.